I'll just become a famous poet and that will solve everything. It's not going to solve anything because it just doesn't work. Um, I just got another no from a job, which I suppose is nice because not all jobs tell you no. They just kind of leave you there wondering if you got the job. And then, like, as time goes by and you realize I didn't get the job. Um, my life is just like all sorts of everything that can go wrong, and we're going to make it go wrong. And just anyhow, I drew some today, and for those of you who don't know, I have some stuff on my blog about how I feel about my art and what's happened to my art and how I create and everything. I'm going to show you some stuff. Let's get this guy here. Um, but I'm not going to run out and all of a sudden make it as an artist. I'm not all of a sudden going to run out and make it as a poet or even an essayist. I am trying to get, a job, job. I am job. Um, but it hasn't exactly gone over. And so a couple of things that make the job a problem for me is that, despite what this looks like, I'm homeless. So I have temporary housing right now. And what that means is temporary. It means that the time runs out. And at a certain point, I won't have that housing. That could maybe put me back at a shelter. I used to stay at a shelter. The shelter, of course, it doesn't work the way that some people, think that it does. They think that you just kind of go into a shelter and you have a shelter. It doesn't work like that. There are rules and things like, first of all, it took me forever to even get into a shelter. Um, you have to have documentation a lot of times in order to get into a shelter. So let's say someone takes your purse, which I had a bag and all of my stuff was stolen. I had my phone. I had my wallet at the time. I had a book from my mom with a picture with my mom. My mom is no longer around. She crossed over, and so losing that stuff was very painful, and it also made getting into a shelter difficult. Other things that go along with shelter, things like you can't stay in during the day. Believe it or not, that's actually a thing. Anybody who has been homeless understands that. If you've ever been in a shelter, during the day you don't get to stay in there. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Um, it's a shelter. You figure it gives you shelter even during the day. That's not necessarily so. Um, let's see what else. You, um, I don't know. I'm losing what I'm talking about. Basically, there are rules, and it's not that simple to just say, okay, well, I'll just stay in a homeless shelter until, if ever, I get a job. And I'm not picky about a job. I'm not crying about if someone were to hire me at McDonald's. I applied at McDonald's. I interviewed and I didn't get the job. So that sucks. I don't know what to do here. I'm going insane because I have this wonderful opportunity right now with temporary housing. But if I don't establish something soon, that's not going to last. And then the next part of this is, as some of my other videos explain, I have schizoaffective disorder. It's like schizophrenia. And it's what I was told is it's like having schizophrenia plus having depression or bipolar or whatever kind of depression thing you want. And you move that over here with schizophrenia and they become. So basically, it's just awful. And it's not like a mild kind of schizophrenia. I will say that the medicine I'm on currently is helping, and I've been able to manage everything. It's been great. Um, so that's good. But that becomes a factor when, things with work come up because I have to think to myself, what happens in the meantime. So then you're thinking to yourself, well, what about disability? Okay, here's what about disability. Social Security, their own doctor said I had schizoaffective disorder. The problem is Social Security still denied me. So there's that. So, I have put in an appeal and I'm waiting and all that other stuff, but so I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to find a job. I'm trying to find work. And everything I've done, I've just run into problem after problem after problem. I've gotten hired at places and I couldn't actually keep the job. So for instance, I got hired at this one place and the job was out of the way from where the shelter was. I was staying at the shelter at the time. And I don't have transportation. So you guys were like, well, take the bus. And this is a good idea. It's a really smart idea. So let's say I took the bus, right? And then I walked the 3 miles where there isn't even a restroom to use during those 3 miles to work. I would also have to make sure that I walked back during those 3 miles and that I could make it to the bus again. What I'm trying to let you guys know, and it's not like a straight 3 miles either. It's kind of like this. I live in Northern California. Okay, I'm from Southern California. We don't have. Okay, but Northern California, you drive. Okay, so so there's that. I had another job opportunity. I won't say that I got hired for the job, but I had another job opportunity and a technical thing came up and it was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is now a problem too. So anything I've just run into problem after problem after problem. And I'm okay with working a job. Just it doesn't matter to me. It can be something that I have experience in experience in, something that I'm skilled at. It can be something that I need to learn. It can be something that is stupid and horrible and monotonous, but at least it's a job. It would be fine by me. But no. So I really don't want to end up back at the shelter. I'm, trying to do things that, aside from that, trying to do some kind of trainings or whatnot to at least keep my mind occupied, and then see about building from there. I even actually took a class at university. I'll just say I took a class at a university, and I was very happy with it. But it just became a thing, like that I needed a job, so that took precedence over learning and going to school and stuff like that, because I really needed to work. And even if I took out something like a loan from school, I would have to figure out how to pay that. And when you're homeless and you have no income and you're sitting there going, I don't know where I'm going to live, loans become like a little bit more extreme. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. I think I've lost my mind. I wish I just had that friend. I really wish this was like the case. I wish I had that friend that would just let you crash on their couch, the one that's like, oh yeah, that's cool, I don't care, and like you get up and you do the dishes for your friend and stuff because you're able to crash on their couch. Like that would be really nice, but I'm not 20, and and everything is just bad. Like stuff is just awful. I mean, I've got, of course, and I'm a woman. And I'm telling you, I'm not in my 20s, so you obviously know that behind me, I have horrible experiences as far as, the guy, the abusive, horrible, evil guy who is just, just really happy. It's awful. Like, it's just so bad. And I'm trying not to. I have lost my mind. And it's funny, for a person who is kind of crazy, schizophrenia and all that stuff, to kind of say you don't want to lose your mind, and I don't. Not to mention I lost my father this year also, and that sucks. I mean, everything is just bad. It's just so bad, and I don't want it to be bad, and yeah. Okay, so that's all I had to say. I just had to say everything is bad, and it sucks, and there's nothing good, and I've heard people tell me it can get better, and just look on the bright side. And I'm like, there isn't a bright side. Stop telling me to look on the bright side as if everything is happy and wonderful. It's not. It's bad. And it's really bad. And I think that's kind of a problem that our society has. Now I'm going to rant, as if that wasn't what that was before. Our society likes to kind of make everything happy. We don't want anybody to have problems. So if there's injustice in the world, we can smile about it. Well, that's okay. Just look at how you deal with it. See, since it's your response, if someone behaves in a way that is inappropriate, you can just happily respond. Oh, well, you know what? I don't like that you actually hit me, so I'm going to socially distance myself. I mean, come on! What is this shit? It's awful. It's awful. There are bad things in the world, and I'm going through some of this, and it's way worse than even what I'm telling you. It's bad. Bad, 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 bad. And I know everybody's just telling me, like, it'll get better and look on the bright side, but you know, before it didn't get better, and it didn't get better before then, and I am very thankful to have temporary housing right now. It is wonderful. It is one of the best things that has happened to me. It's given me the opportunity to look for a job more so than in other ways. I'm really thankful for it. I get to actually have my own room. That is fantastic to have some amount of privacy. You have no idea the value of privacy. You don't know how much privacy you guys have when you have a normal life. It's there. You have it. And you need to and just be thankful for it because it is just awful not to have it. Yeah. But there are things that suck in life, and this is just one of them. Like this is just it's like suck. It's horrible shit. So, okay.